Oh, YouTube and X, it's your main man BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think about this Dash partnership in the comments. Just lining my little camera up there. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. Just trying to keep the lights on here on BTM Crypto News Network. So let's get to it. And we're talking about the Dash partnership with Zebec, which is probably bigger than a lot of people think. I know you guys are thinkers and innovators, so you probably know. But a lot of people probably aren't really um, fully grasping Dash and this partnership, right? Like they probably didn't with the rest of these partnerships. They just thought it was another partnership, but we're going to get into that in a second. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. As always, let's start with our sponsorship with Caleb and Brown. So this is Caleb and Brown, the crypto brokerage. They do broker your crypto, and they also give you a one-on-one broker. The link is in the description. If you're new to crypto, this will be definitely a good place to start. I know when I started, I had a lot of questions, made a lot of mistakes, lost a lot of money. So there's no problem with uh, working with someone and understanding the crypto market so you can catch up and get on the same level as a lot of the people who's being in the market. I'm here to help. So I think I get 5% when you sign up, and thank all the people that have already signed up. Just trying to keep the lights on here on BTM Crypto News Network. So let's get to it. First, we're going to hit the bubbles. On the bubbles, this is Brett's up 6.4. XPX16 is up 8.7. AIZBT's up 2.6. Dash is up 2.1. We'll come back to that. Tau Bittinger is up 5.9. Not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But you can see it was 287. Now is 313. If you got in here, you've already made about $20, give or take. And if you go back a month ago, it was 537, and I think got up to 712. So it's down, but it's coming down for us to pick it up. Let's see, Farcoin's up 6%. World Mobile's been doing a little something, up 8.9%, up 1.1 on the hour, up 12% on the week. Still down 29% when it was at 15 cents, and for the year it got up to 60 cents. So again, that's another one that's coming down for us to pick it up, and it's also partnering with Zebec. So if you haven't noticed, when something partners with Zebec, it starts to pump and keeps pumping. That speaks volumes for Zebec and the project is partnering with. Algorand's up 1.5, Swarm's up 2.6. Radium's up 2.5, Ordinai's up 0.9, Dodge's up 0.8, Nexo's up 1.6, Mudan is up 6.4, Theta is up, 0.3, SHIB's up 5.4, Quant is up 11.6, McCade's up 7%, Stronghold is up 4.6. Sui is up 1%. Nero's up 1%. Get that down. Turbo's up 2%. Ingest is up 2.9. Alchemy Pay is up 2.1. Penguin is up 0.5. Fed's up 0.5. Ethereum is up 0.5, down 0.5 for the day. For the week, it's down 4.5. For the month, it is down 29.7. And for the year, it is up 13.5. So the Zebec is outperforming Ethereum. AVAX is up 2.2, Links up 1%. And of course, the token, hold on. Let's look at XDC real quick. It is up 1.6. Something to keep an eye on. I might do a video on that. But a Zebec is up 1.2 on the day, up 0.3 on the hour, up 18% on the week. Bro, just a week ago, things was crazy down. And now we're already up almost 20% on the week. For the month is up 16 point, down 16.6. For the year, it is up 226%, jumped 2 places, and we're at the 003393 currently. And let's go back over to Dash. So Dash is up 2.2 on the hour, up 2.4 on the day, down 23.5 on the week, up 14.1 on the month, and up 75.1% on the year. And you can see here, Dash is at $58 on the month. It was 139. So the thing here that Dash is doing or will do with Zebec is Dash is a privacy token, right? And it's also a payment token. So it's kind of in both uh, categories. And if you don't know, privacy tokens have been running like crazy. And Dash is one of the big players in the privacy market. So not only do we have the payments on lock, now we're getting back into privacy tokens and payments. So when you add the Zebec streaming payroll to privacy tokens, I think this is going to be big. And Dash has been pumping, as we just saw on the month. It's still up 14%, right? For the year, it started off at $18 and it got up to $115. It's almost $100 pump, right? And it's down now. So I'm probably going to pick up some Dash. Just throwing that out there. So let's go over to the chat. This is Hitter All Day. BTM, what up, fam? FYI, I did get 2 reps last night on the 365. Let's go. Now I'm ready for some great crypto news or Zebec news. What up, Yazin? What up, Tony T? What's going on, fam? Dash is a solid partnership. Yes, Hitter All Day. Dash is big. Hitter All Day. Who's strong as hell? I know, right? That's almost 400 pounds, bro. Young Alchemy. What up, Young Alchemy? What up, Bay? Yeah, man, I had to get my gains back. I see you on that. We're getting closer, BTM. Thanks for the $5, Yassine. Appreciate that, bro. I feel you. Thanks for trying to keep the lights on the BTM Crypto News Network. So I guess let's look at the numbers and then we'll go over to X and look at the Dash partnership. So this is Zebec at the 0034, down 9.2% on the hour, up 1.7 on the day, up 18.27 on the week. On 30 days, we're down 15.9. 90 days, we're up 22.5, down 22.5, I'm tripping. On the year, we're up 218.7%. This is TradingView. We'll come back to that, actually. So for holders, we are at 88,885. I think we're going to hit 100,000 holders before the end of the year. Let me know what you guys think about that. Yay, nay, or indifferent. On the hour, we're actually 4 hours, we lost 3 holders. 12 hours, we added 51. On the day, we added 79. 3 days, we added 258. This is starting to look like June a little bit. For the week, we added 600. 14 days, we added 914 for 2 weeks. And for the month, we're up 1,653. Let's go. So this is the holders. This is the solo scan. Solo scan saying 88,884. Refresh that real quick and see if that number comes up. Yeah, so 88,893. So we're probably going to get to 90,000 tonight. Let me know what you guys think about that. Think we're going to keep pushing and running up. This is showing 88,889. 90,000 is in reach, my guys. Just be patient. So currently on the, let's go over to the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart, RSI is 58.6, actually 55.04. RSI base moving average is 58.6. MACD is showing, let's see, MACD's bullish, blue is over red, and we're building volume on the 5-minute. 15-minute chart is still bullish, blue over red, and we're building volume. RSI is 50.8. So I guess we're getting back into oversold territory. And this is the 005, which is looking a lot closer at the 003 than the 0029. So let's go. On the 45-minute chart, got some green candles. RSI is 51.25. Still in the oversold. We're losing volume on the 45-minute, and it's kind of bearish. The red's above the blue. On the 2-hour chart, got a green candle and a red. RSI is 55.6. RSI moving base moving average is 58.9. We're losing volume there on the 2-hour. 2 hours looking a little bearish. And on the 4-hour, looking bullish, barely building volume. Couple red candles, RSI 60. So we're definitely oversold on the 4-hour chart. Let's see, hit her all day. Help keep them lights on Zebec Fan. Don't forget to wipe your feet on the door and hit the like button before entering. Thank you, hitter all day. Zebec news has been a no, right? I told you guys, once it started popping, they got a lot of information to get out, right? They're waiting for the price to go up, right? Get back stable, draw attention to, and then keep hitting us with announcements, right? It doesn't make sense to pull all the announcements out while things are going down. But if you hit them on the way up, it's going to keep drawing attention and keep pumping the price. So, I mean, I think that's smart on the Zebec team, and the team is generally always on point, right? So let's go over to X. Make sure you join me on the BTM Crypto News Network on X to stay up to date with Zebec, Caspa, XRP, some Bitcoin. About to start doing some work on Dash and World Mobile, right? We got a lot of little projects tied into Zebec. This is the live stream. So this is Dash, the announcement this morning. Dash is partnering with the Zebec, officially joining the Zebec ecosystem in a long-term strategy partnership rooted in shared mission, making crypto payments instant, secure, and seamless for users worldwide. As part of this collaboration, Dash will become the 19th, bro. We're almost at 20 integrated blockchains on the fully private Zebec Silver and Carbon cards. We're one away from 20. What other payment processor has 20 ecosystems? I told you guys around 5 or 6, bro. If we get over 10, it's a wrap. Now we're about to be at 20. bro, we are pretty much taking over the payment processing, streaming payroll for crypto, right? Who else has almost 20 integrated blockchains? Once Zebec super app launches, which is going to be the major announcement, you think there's a lot of buzz now. When the super app hits and all this stuff can integrate into the super app, you're going to see a massive candle, right? We're going to push right on past 1 cent and keep moving. So let me know what you guys think. When do you think they're going to launch the super app? I think they're waiting for December or early Q1 2026. I think the announcement probably comes out right before Christmas and integrated in Q1 2026. Let me see. Where were we? Most notable Dash's famous instant send functionality will be supported across Zebec's payment rails, creating a blazing fast card load times and payroll speeds. Once the super app launches, Dash will be among the proprietary chains supported natively. Dash is being a pioneer in crypto payments, and we're proud to carry the legacy into the Zebec ecosystems. A new way to send Dash, and in coming weeks, users will be able to send Dash with Zebec Silver Card and Carbon Card and use the forthcoming Dash debit card once available. Most important in the new integration is the instant send support, which means users can go to Dash to sending it almost anywhere in the world in mere seconds. This will include both single load debit cards, which can be denominated into USD, ERU, and GBP, and reloadable USD card. Both are fully private. Users will be able to keep their funds entirely in Dash in their own self custody up until seconds before they make the purchase. Dash will also be supported in the forthcoming Dash branded no limit card for high ticket buys, luxury items, and more. Native Dash support is coming to the Zebec Super App, enabling streamlined integrations and user experience that takes advantage of the Dash speed and security. So not only does the Super App coming, but it's also going to support these Dash payments, which could be for high ticket and luxury items, right? Dash has been in the game for a minute. And if you're keeping up, Zebec mainly goes after the players that are deep in the market, right? Not only for notability, but also for security and reliability and speed, right? They're going after the fastest, the securest, and the best crypto blockchains out there. And so far, I think they got them, right? And there's still room for more partnerships. The beginning of the long-term partnership. This partnership aligns Dash mature payment technology with Zebix infrastructure for long-term beyond just the card partnership. Dash designs focus on instant, secure, and decentralized and confidential digital payments, making it well suited for every transaction. Zebix specializes in continuous real-time payment streaming, and it's building compliant, scalable rails for modern payments and payroll. Together, the integration supports practically user-first crypto payment experience across sending, payroll, and border finance use cases. We're excited to continue to work with Zebec long term and deliver the Dash promise of decentralized digital cash to the whole world for every application and aspect of life. And in the article, these guys mentioned long term, long term, long term. So I don't know if you got it, but this isn't a fly by night. This will be a long term uh, partnership, right? So it's something, the gift that keeps giving. What up, Phantom Beat? Zebec News has been nonstop. I told you guys, they're loading up, and when they start releasing information, it's going to be like this. Plus, we still have some major announcements that are on the way, right? Like the super app we've been waiting for, and I think there's one or two. Plus, there is a AMA with NetPay, and I think that AMA is going to get crazy. All the information that they're going to tell us and release to us is going to be another nonstop news cycle. um, Dash is officially joining the ZBIC ecosystem. This long-term strategic partnership aligned with our shared mission, making crypto payments instant, secure, seamless for our users. And again, Zebec came back with the long-term, right? If nothing else, you should get this is a long-term partnership. And as we looked earlier, Dash is big, right? Dash is not a small fly-by-night crypto project. It's one of the major players in the privacy tokens. Dash is becoming the 19th blockchain integrated into the Silver, Zebec, and Carbon cards. Starting Monday, December 1st, users will be able to load and spend Dash, instantly powered by Dash's InstaSend, followed by the launch of the official Dash custom debit card next month, powered by Zebec and Dash. Milestone reached 19th chain integrated. And if you notice, they did mention, what was that? Instant and long-term partnership, right? And Zebec has been working around the clock, guys. All these partnerships don't just come out of nowhere. These guys have been putting in work. And this is Dash combines the POW and master node network with instant payment finality, chain lock security, and optional private SIN privacy. Its two-tier master node is a piece of art. um, One exchange and you are in the game, and this is change now. Dash at fast, low fee payments, coins secured in POW miners and master node with instant payment finale, chain lock security, and optional privacy, and also with uh, Dash. I think Dash is on Coinbase and Binance. So it's kind of like right in line. New global fiat on ramp for Dash by Dash with many different fiat currencies. Global coverage 120 countries for Visa and MasterCard purchases. Local payment methods Brazil, PicPay, Pix, Mexico, Indonesia, and more. No KYC flow available for smaller user transactions. For more seamless onboarding, try it out and get some Dash. Speed run your payments on Finch Pay. Dash is built for fast, low fee digital payments, even even easier to access thanks to the integration with FinPay. Buy or sell instantly using your banking card and other 50 plus supported currencies. Smooth UX, great rates, and zero obstacles. FinPay now available for purchase. New FinPay listing Dash. So that is another payment processor that Dash is working with. What up, Jeff? What up, Jeff Rowe? BTM, we are here because we're doing it all live. I've been watching No Face Crypto, and his latest video has about how Zebec is a scam and partnerships are not real, about making compliance being false. Anyone else hear about that? I have not been, but I'm about to check them out because how could these partnerships be fake? And they're literally talking about, right? Like the Meki compliance is all over the page, and if it's not so, they would say it, right? And the partnerships would say it. We literally just read the whole Dash partnership announcement. So what? Zebec is hacking people's X page and posting on them without them knowing about it? Man, dude's wasting time, bro. We can't even waste time trying to figure out what this guy's talking about. But I'm definitely going to find those videos and probably see who he is and where he's getting his information from. Because clearly it's not accurate, right? This is, that's weird. Um, Shout out to Creative Control. Imagine where the number will be in a year. We're not even 1 month from launch. Total transactions on ARC 1.26 million. This is World Mobile. Let's make some noise, Zebec fam. Builders recognize World Mobile is now live on Coinbase. What? World Mobile's on Coinbase? New access, new reach, new opportunities for community institutions to join the movement. Welcome to the next chapter. Explore World Mobile at 10 cents on Coinbase. Read announcements. So let's read. CBIC will be paying Uber drivers in Japan, Africa, and Europe extra. Okay, the signal gets bigger. World Mobile proof over premises. I guess this is the actual app connector, whatever. Oh, there is now. So clearly, World Mobile is there. So it's only a matter of time before Zebec joins the party. This is Most people still don't know how fast payment world's shifting, but once you connect the Bloomberg DeFi index, NatPay, Assure, HCM, ISO 200 upgrades, the whole picture snaps into place. Zebec isn't just playing in crypto, it's rebuilding the rails that everyone else will be using. If you want to understand what actually is happening behind the scenes, this article lays it all out. So, got another article from Crypto God. We'll check that out in a minute. A surprising signal just popped up in the data today. It says a lot about where the market is leading. Coinbase converter now shows one Binance Galaxy Crypto Index, GBCI, is equivalent to 729.05 units of Zebec Network. At first glance, it looks like a simple conversion tool, but a closer look is just the quiet market alignment that usually precedes a major narrative shift. The Bloomberg Index represents a basket of leading digital assets. Zebec Network represents real time programmable payments, payroll automation, stablecoin settlement rails by institutions. With traditional market benchmark begins appearing side by side with emerging real-time payment infrastructure, that's not a accident. It's the only stage of convergence. when we're watching Web3 payment rails step onto the same field as institutional index calmly, quietly, and then all at once, whether people see it or not, financial stack is being rewired in real time. Instant settlements, streaming payroll, compliance friendly stablecoin rails, enterprise integration across banking, HR, and fintech. Zebec is positioning itself in a lane that very few crypto projects even touch. It's not hype, it's data, and the data is starting to speak louder than the narrative. There's the link. Let's see what's on this link. This is convert Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index BGCI to Zebec. That's weird. Why would Zebec be on here? BGC to ZBCN, one Bloomberg Galaxy Index converted at 729 Zebec as November 25th at 12:06 p.m. That's weird. Why is Zebec on there? So this is the actual, it actually is here. So it was already here, or did somebody select a Zebec? It actually went down. So it's 760 Zebec to one Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index BGCI. Definitely going to give that a look. This is Jeff. Jeff saying, what is this? Meki has a problem with Bitcoin and Tether. Thinking 2.5 cents mid-February. Really? 75M. I definitely think it's going to start running to 1 cent. I think it might pull back and then push on up. But I think it's going to hit probably, I don't know, 25, 50 cents maybe by the end of the year and keep running. I mean, from 0.003 to 1 cent is still a massive push up, right? That's a long way to go. So if it can do that, it's going to keep going and keep pushing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. So this is, let me see. Actually, what was that? What was this? Who is this talking? What was that? Oh, that is something on Digital Talk. Are they talking about the Zebec? No. So back to the BTM Crypto News Network. Let's see here. How's the world mobile? So we're here. Could Bloomberg Index catapult Zebec towards a ETF? Yes, Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index could absolutely catapult Zebec towards ETF territory. Here's why. The announcement that Zebec Network was added to the Bloomberg Index on November 24th isn't just a pat on the back, it's a rocket booster for institutional legitimacy. As one of the 32 assets selected from the entire DeFi ecosystem, now holds 1.5% weight in an index tracking 15 billion in assets under management AUM. That's what AUM, assets under tripping. Assets under management. This pulls it alongside heavyweights like Uniswap, Aave, Ingestive, Pendle, signaling to Wall Street that Zebec's real-time payroll streaming payment tech is no longer crypto hype, it's infrastructure grade. But this could actually lead to an ETF. Short answer, absolutely possible, and sooner than you think. Bloomberg indices aren't random, they are the blueprint for ETFs. So who is that? Somebody's talking in the comments. This is what Jeff, this is what you got to bring back to No Face Crypto. Show him this article, bro. What are you talking about? We're already on the index. How could we be on the Bloomberg index if it was a scam, right? I mean, I know folks are hating, right? Folks love to hate. But even with the hate, answer the question: how could we be on the Bloomberg index if it was a scam, right? They're lying about partnerships. I don't know why people want to hate so hard. That doesn't even make sense, right? I mean, stick with the data by itself. You're talking about an ETF. You ain't about the ETF, no scam project. Shout out to Boozilla, CKG Crypto, Rise and Shine, melting portfolios globally. Time. Zebec Payroll and Payments of the Future. This is ZBCN Nut. Dash Pay has never teased future plans like this. This could imply a deeper integration, likely cross-chain settlements, possibly payroll and Dash using Zebec Rails, Zebec-powered Dash cross-border infrastructure, maybe ISO 20022, message formatting for Dash payments. I didn't even think about that. We're happy to announce a new partnership. Privately send your Dash anywhere in the world, letting you live off Dash fully while we continue to round out the rest of spending options. We're working on some other big things together with Zebec too. So I'm wondering what these extra announcements are. 4 hours, still waiting for this nice move to close above the 0038 for a reversal confirmation of 90%, but I'm 90% we will get it by the end of the weekend. 0038. Are we at the 0038? We're at the 0034, getting pretty close. So let's see here. Jeff, we're still early. Best believe we're still early. Every day is payday. Yep. And when it hits, it's going to be massive. So this is Zebec Carbon Card now expands as global coverage. We are doubled our USD card coverage, adding new supported countries across Europe, Asia, Africa, and beyond. Expanding access goes live Monday. New currency options coming soon. And this was a couple of weeks ago. So that already happened. So this is a main man, Joseph, sorry. Zebec Network's quietly taken over the global payroll system, and almost nobody's paying attention. You are right, sir. Thank you, New Wave. You guys was really shelling it out today. I might have another couple days in me for all this. I might actually upgrade the internet service and keep the lights rolling. I appreciate you guys. CKJ. What up, Boozilla? I might be doing a live stream with Boozilla as well. We'll see. Need to talk to him, see what's going on. On most days, the world of crypto and traditional finance moves in completely separate gears. One speaks in block times, liquidity pools, the other ACH batch settlements windows. Yet, if you look closely at the default lines where the systems are beginning to converge, a new pattern is emerging, one that few analysts are talking about, but one that may become impossible to ignore. At the center of the pattern is Zebec Network, projects that have spent the past year doing something deeply unglamorous by crypto standards, building financial plumbing, and for the first time, the conventional banking ecosystem is starting to recognize. Earlier this month, Zebec appeared in places that crypto startups rarely reach, such as the Bloomberg Index, payroll infrastructures, HR management software, and compliance frameworks that operate beneath the scenes of global payments. One by one, the signs have been stacking. The Bloomberg Global Index admission, the Dash partnership, the NatPay, and Azure ACH integrations are now an impeding leap into full ISO 20022 alignment. To understand the magnitude of what's unfolding, we have to look at the pieces and step back to see the entire picture. But before we go too deep into this, let me check out this article from who is this? This is what Chat's saying about the partnership. So let's look at that real quick, and then we'll come back to the article. So Chat says uh, what the Zebec Dash partnership is or aims to be. There is a formal proposal on the Dash called reloadable cards and payroll integration. If approved, funded, Zebec would build a reloadable Dash branded debit card plus a global payroll system that allows employees to pay employers to pay employees in Dash, including via streaming salary payments. Integration also includes on-off ramp infrastructure, ways for users to convert Dash to fiat or other currencies and vice versa to support global spending, remittance, and payroll in Dash. How this helps Zebec. Uh, Zebec expands card payment ecosystem. Zebec's core business is real world value flows, cards, payments, payroll on chain rails. Adding Dash as a supported currency via branded debit cards and payroll broadens the number of assets users can hold, spend, and receive. That straightens Zebec's positioning as a multi-asset, multi-chain payment platform, making it more universal and attractive. That helps Zebec grow its user base, especially among the Dash users, which may bring a new demand value and network effects to its cards and payments rails. Open access to Dash global user base and communities. Dash has a global community and adoption in some markets where cryptocurrencies are used for payments, remittance, and payroll. By building support for Dash, Zebec taps into that audience. So not only is the payroll there and the processing there, we'll also get some of the Dash users on the Zebec payment rail, which is also huge. This gives Zebec more global and demographic reach, which can translate to more card users, payroll clients, and remittance flow routed through Zebec. So it's going to be more people, guys. It's going to be more people using the system. Not even us, but also uh, users of their network. Strengthen its on-ramp payroll utility positioning, proposition. A big part of Zebig's value is offering real world usability, being able to get paid, send payments, and send crypto like fiat. By supporting Dash, Zebig expands the type of crypto assets that can flow through the infrastructure. This makes its ecosystem more fluid and flexible, increasing the odds that businesses and individuals choose Zebec for payroll and payment services. For examples, companies can offer employees the option to get salary in Dash or part in Dash, and those employees could send it with Dash debit card, closing the crypto earn send loop. Diversifies the Zebec token. Um, Zebec already supports many tokens, stable coins, USDC, etc., and blockchains. Integrating Dash adds another major crypto player and assets to their ecosystem. More assets, more flexibility, more user cases, the lower risk. That Zebec value proposition hinges on only one token or blockchain. This diversification also helps Zebec appeal to a broader crypto audience and reduces concentration risk, potential growth and volume, liquidity and revenue. More supported assets and payment rails can attract more users, cardholders, payroll customers, and remittance users. More users, more transaction volume, more revenue for Zebec from fees, card usage, and perhaps payroll subscriptions or service fees. Over time, this can strengthen Zebec's market position and help it scale as a real world crypto payment infrastructure. So, a strategic fit. This is why this makes sense. Zebec is already in business of bridging Web 2 and Web 3 payroll, stable coins, cards, on off ramps, cross border payments. They have a history of integrating new assets and partners with stablecoin via Circle USDC with other blockchains and tokens with payroll partners. Supporting a widely used established crypto like Dash fits their mission and can accelerate adoption, effectively expanding their crypto native debit card payroll stack. Of course, with expansion comes risk and challenges for Zebec. Regulatory compliance complexity, supporting payroll and debit cards globally with Dash and other cryptos means navigating different jurisdiction laws, anti money laundering, and KYC, integrated overhead, building and maintaining infrastructure for Dash wallets, cards, on off ramps, payroll, routing compliance requires resources and engineering. User adopts to uncertainty. Even if the card and the payroll for Dash exist, uptake isn't guaranteed. Zebec needs market demand, and Dash holders need to actually use it. The volatility risk: if users are paid in Dash, volatile crypto, there's a risk price. This might deter some employees and employers unless there's a stable coin or fiat conversion option, which would probably be, what is that, USDC. Still, there are trade-offs that come with being full featured crypto payment infrastructure platform for a company like Zebec. Expanding asset support in natural part of growth. The bottom line, it's a smart move, growth. Wait, it's a smart growth move. Partnering with Dash, Zebec stands to expand its user base and geographic reach, strengthen its multi-asset payment network, and diversify its supported assets and increase transaction volume and revenue potential. It reinforces Zebec's broader mission to make blockchain-based payroll payments and real-world sending as easy as universal traditional banking and card systems with the crypto flexibility. So back over to the article, but let me think there was a video. Have another AI video for you guys since you love the AI videos so much. And this is about the technology. So give me a couple minutes and we'll be right back. Wait, what is this? Hold up. Wait a minute. Zebec just became enterprise grade overnight. Zebec is about to explode. So let's see what this guy's talking about. I didn't even see this earlier. This is just came up actually. Let me check this
Yeah.
out.
Hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out ZBCN's price chart and specifically the recent move on the upside that we got. And I think I am able to identify some optimistic signs, but I'm going to tell you why maybe it's best to manage our expectations and be patient just a little bit more and see the signs that do actually suggest that we are looking like very bullish. Now, before we get into all that good stuff, we got some very important things to talk about because this update from Zebec is actually like way bigger, in my opinion at least, than just another simple integration. No, what we are looking here is basically the final piece that connects Zebec's on-chain payroll system to the core of the United States financial system. I'm talking about Federal Reserve, the ACH network, and potentially even global Swift rails. And the key players in this announcement are number one, PGP, number two, NatPay. So let's just start there and see what is actually PGP. And in case you don't know, PGP is essentially Zebec's business arm and it's actually the piece that goes out and acquires traditional payroll companies or partners with them so Zebec can plug into their existing payroll world without really rebuilding every single thing from scratch. And you need to think of PGP as like the connector that lets Zebec talk to old school payroll infrastructure. NatPay is actually the real heavyweight in here, and it has been around since early 90s and has processed over $100 billion in payments. They are fully regulated, deeply embedded in the United States payroll industry, and most importantly, this is really the key, they are the only payroll processor participating in FedNow, which is the instant settlement system run by the Federal Reserve itself. And this, my friends, is the key moment. You see, once Zebec integrates with NatPay, it actually inherits all the NatPay's access and compliance, meaning Zebec can now tap directly into the ACH network, which is basically the backbone of payroll in US and even potentially the Swift network, which connects global banks. But the biggest breakthrough, in my view, is going to be FedNow, and here is why. You see, traditional payroll using ACH is actually quite slow because banks do close on weekends. Settlements take actually a couple of days, and that's why more often than not, people actually get their salaries quite a bit late or maybe in batches. Now, here's the deal. Crypto can absolutely move almost instantly. However, companies cannot really pay salaries entirely in crypto because of accounting, taxes, and also compliance rules. And this, my friends, is where FedNow enters. You see, FedNow actually solves that problem for fiat because it actually moves dollars instantly 24/7. So now with Zebec sitting on top of NatPay's infrastructure, Zebec can also move dollars instantly and move stable coins also instantly. And that means a company can literally run a hybrid model where, for example, the USD salary is going to head instantly through FedNow, and the crypto portion is also going to, as per usual, hit instantly through Zebec, all in the same moment. And this, my friends, is why this integration matters quite a bit. Okay, this isn't just about another partnership. No, this, in my view, is about removing the last bottleneck between on-chain payroll and the real banking system, which is awesome. Now, let's get a bit into like a very important part that most people actually overlook, but enterprises do actually care about more than anything. It is called ISO 20022 compliance, and it sounds like another boring checkbox. I fully understand that, and it might actually very well be boring, but trust me, this is the language of money used by banks, central banks, and SWIFT. Okay, every single major financial institution is migrating at the moment to ISO 20022 because it lets payments carry structured data. And we are talking about, for example, invoice numbers, payroll IDs, tax information. All of these things are able to, at the same time, get stored in payments directly inside the transaction itself with the help of ISO 20022. Now, for big companies, this is actually not negotiable. If a payroll platform cannot really speak to ISO 20022, it simply cannot plug into the accounting systems used by Fortune 500 companies. And that, my friends, is why NatPay being fully ISO 20022 compliant is like such a pivotal detail for Zebec. You see, Zebec doesn't really need to spend years and years building this compliance stack from scratch anymore. And by integrating with NatPay, they instantly inherit all the good things and capabilities required to operate at the enterprise scale, which is fantastic. And this is honestly, in my view, what transforms Zebec from a crypto driven payroll application into something that traditional businesses can absolutely use. This integration, in my view, is basically giving Zebec the right to sit at the table with real financial institutions, not just Web3 startups. And the implication of this, trust me, they are huge. You see, with access to the entire ACH network, Zebec can theoretically service anybody with a United States bank account, and they no longer really have to convince somebody to install a wallet or understand crypto. None of that. Payroll, for example, can be sent to a plumber in Ohio, maybe a restaurant worker in Texas, and maybe a software engineer in LA, all instantly without friction. Also, another overlooked aspect, in my view, is the legitimacy. You see, NatPay has been operating since the early 2000s, and they are directly connected to the Federal Reserve payment rails and handle billions and billions in payroll. Partnering with a company with that kind of track records give, in my view, Zebec a credibility shield that no marketing campaign could ever buy. And this, in my view, makes it like much harder for critics to absolutely ignore Zebec and call it like a speculative crypto project. No, this is now the real deal. And I think from this point moving forward, we are actually going to see a lot more investors paying much more attention to Zebec, which is what we love to see as early adopters. So, in conclusion, this is actually, in my view, like a major announcement for Zebec, but it doesn't really magically guarantee mass adoption almost instantly. No, adoption is going to take some time. Do not get me wrong. However, what I do care about is this: are we in the right direction, and are we improving every single month or maybe every quarter over quarter or not? If we are, that's absolutely fine by me. I am very much patient, and if the token ends up going down, you know what? Based on what I'm seeing in terms of fundamentals, I'm just going to add more and more ZBCN to my portfolio. But right now, it seems like that the token is actually going up quite a bit. So let's go on the live chart and see what is happening at the moment. Because if you remember, the last time that we talked about Zebec, I think we were somewhere around these areas, and the idea was that, well, okay, odds are we are going to get a bit of a move on the downside. No, we were actually, I think, if I just go on 15-minute time frame, excuse me, we were, I believe, there we go, right around these areas. And the idea was that, yeah, odds are we are going to get a bit of a move on the downside. And in that move, maybe we are going to reach to about this important level. And if we end up getting a break of this thing, the next one is going to be all the way down here. So it might actually hurt in the short term, but we said this is going to be a beautiful buy the dip opportunity. And I did actually buy quite a good bit of CBEC when we got this move on the downside. However, I still feel like I don't really have enough ZBEC, but since right now the price is just like a little bit above my average purchase, I think my average purchase right now is somewhere around 3.2 cents region. I don't really think that in here I should buy ZBEC. Like, do not get me wrong, this move up is definitely an optimistic sign, but I'm going to be a bit more patient and see, are we going to get a move down or not? If we get a move down and we go to somewhere around these areas, that can be a decent buy opportunity for the mid to long term in ZBEC, because I do think that overall we are actually having a decent bullish setup. Now, of course, it actually pains me to say this because now I don't really believe that we should consider this one to a structure. However, the general pattern is going to sort of kind of remain the same, meaning I do still believe this is a 5 wave up followed by a correction down. And according to like a very pessimistic scenario, you can at least expect in the midterm yet another move on the upside in order to take the highs in here for the first target about, let's say, 0.7 of a cent, but I think we are probably going to go quite a bit higher than that. So that's why, in my view, these low prices are actually decent buy opportunities if you are a mid to long term investor, and also if you are a fair value investor. Okay, a fair value investor is somebody who understands fully that the price right now is actually undervalued, and also is willing to be quite a bit patient until we get a good move up and the price reaches to its true value. Okay. If you're not fine with that, may I suggest a stay away basically from the altcoin market because this is very much, in my view, a fair value play. Okay. It's very important to understand that. Now, having said all that, let's go on 15-minute time frame. Let's go around this area. You see, if you want to be bullish on any chart and like me, if you're interested in Elios waves and you want to say maybe right in here we're gonna hit our final low, then okay. Off of the lowest low in here, then you have to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside. This, my friends, is called an impulsive movement. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between our wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of Y wave, our wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And when it comes to the subwaves, I think you all know what I'm about to say if you are a regular viewer of the channel. We're gonna have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5 like this, and for wave 2 and 4, we can consider different possibilities. Doesn't really matter. Let's say sure. WXY into wave 2 and an ABC into wave 4. Now let's go on the live chart, excuse me, and see what is happening in terms of the subwaves and why am I right now a bit optimistic. You see, in my view, there's actually a decent chance that in this phase, we are having a bit of a triangle structure, and triangles do actually have a habit of happening into a wave 4. So here is my primary case. I'm going to say from this point, this is 1, this is 2, this is wave 3, triangle for 4, another move up into wave 5, and on a higher degree, this might be into the wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. Now, do not get me wrong, other possibilities can absolutely be in play, and we are going to talk about it in a minute, but that's not really the point. The point that I'm trying to make is this. I think in the current phase up in ZBCN, we are able to find a 5 wave, which is definitely an optimistic sign, indicating hopefully we have hit the bottom and we don't really have to visit the lows and go like a whole lot lower anymore. Now, I want to be very clear. This is like absolutely a necessary condition. But it's very important to understand that this isn't by itself enough. Why is that? Let me ask you this. What happens after an impulse on the upside if you want to go according to the most bullish scenario, indicating the bottom is it? You know it. One way or the other, we are going to have a bit of a move on the downside. So that's why earlier I told you, look, I want to see preferably a bit of a move down in Zebec. And in this move, I need you to check out the shape of it and see is it actually like a very slow and choppy move on the downside or not, because that's like really the key. Okay, the move down itself, honestly, it's not really that big of a deal. It is sort of kind of predictable. What really matters is the shape of the move. If this move is going to take some time, for example, maybe the same amount of time that it took us to have this phase up, let's say from this point to about here, and put this thing at the beginning of our move down, supposedly, there we go. If until about, let's say, November 29th, we see a consolidation pattern in here, that, my friends, is going to be an awesome sign suggesting, yep, we are indeed bullish and on a higher degree. Hopefully, this is going to be 5 up into 1 correction for wave 2. And what's next? Huge move up into wave 3, 4, 5. And it's very important to understand that in terms of Helios waves, we do say that wave 3 is quite a large, strong move on the upside. Okay, remember this is really like the key, and it's why I'm saying, look, after a consolidation, you need to be like an absolute moon boy in Zebec. Now, can we have other bullish possibilities that are like way too optimistic? The answer, yes, but I don't really want you to get your hopes up that much. Okay, my job is not to be an absolute moon boy. My job is to keep you on the ground and at any given moment talk to you about the most pessimistic scenario between all the bullish ones. So for now, again, let's consider having a 5 up. But you know what? If you just want to speculate in the back of your mind a little bit, well, okay, how about a series of 1-2s? This can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into, I'm gonna say, maybe, yes, a larger degree wave 3 correction for another move up into wave 5, and even that one can be into a wave 3 and 4 and 5, and even that one can be into a wave 3 and 4 and 5. Is the scenario possible? Yes. Is it likely? I'll be honest with you, we're not really that lucky. So why not considering having like a complete five wave in here and expect a move on the downside? So if it happens, you're not going to be surprised at all. If it doesn't happen, and from here, for example, we are going to get like an insane 200-300% move on the upside, we're just going to be pleasantly surprised, which is fantastic. So overall, I do think there are some very important optimistic signs in here in this move up in Zebec. But having said that, please manage your expectations and let's have a move on the downside and pay attention to specifically the shape of that move down. Okay, that is really going to determine what is going on in Zebec and what might be the next likely move. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ZBCN's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.
Now let's get into the tech trade with the next guest right here on set. Dan Ives from Wedbush, here to tell us how to play the AI revolution, why he says we're not in a bubble. Dan, on AI, this market has been ridiculously flighty. I'm old enough to remember when OpenAI was going to kill Google search, and when the narrative was Apple's dead money because it missed AI with Apple Intelligence, and that Oracle is the fourth hyperscaler. That was a recent one. You got to do your homework, not get caught up in each week's hype. So with that in mind, what are your picks?
I mean, look, that's why, I mean, we spend our time in Asia and around the world, right? Because what the demand looks like. And we talk about our top 10 picks here. I think on the hyperscalers, to me, Microsoft continues to be the one that's just table pounder here. Relative to what I view as sort of the enterprise that's right in their backyard, everything we see in Azure. Look, 20% of the deals that we're seeing from Microsoft to Amazon to Google have been accelerated over the last few weeks, despite what we're seeing here. Palantir to me on the use case side continues to be front and center. I think that's when I get the valuation worries, but that is really, I think, right at the epicenter of what we're seeing. And it continues. This is just the start.
Dan, hang tight.
It looks like that video was missed time, but no worries. We are back doing it all live. Let's run this video real quick and come back
In
to
a world
close it
where
out.
money moves slower than information, where the global financial system still runs on decade old rails, one project is challenging the very concept of time. This is Zebec Network, a real time settlement protocol built for the new era of finance. Every year, billions of dollars crawl through outdated payment systems. Transfers take hours, sometimes days, fees stack, delays increase, and for businesses, for creators, for freelancers, every second wasted costs real money. But what if money could move like streaming videos? What if payments flowed second by second, instantly, globally, and continuously? That question sparked the idea behind Zebec Network. Built initially on the Solana ecosystem, Zebec set out with a radical vision to create a real-time programmable money system where payments, payroll, and business transactions never wait for confirmations, banks, or middlemen. Zebec wasn't just another crypto, it was infrastructure, a payment rails designed to rival traditional finance. At the center of the ecosystem is Zebec Pay, a streaming protocol allowing salaries and payments to move every second, not every 2 weeks. Imagine getting paid in real time, your balance growing continuously as you work. Zebec also powers automated payouts, subscription models, treasury management, and business tools built for next generation companies. Zebec integrates real-time settlement with high-speed blockchains. It uses smart contracts to schedule payments, enforces rules, and secures funds. And because everything is programmable, businesses can automate finances like never before. In traditional finance, automation is slow. In Zebec, automation is instant. Streaming payroll for companies with global teams, real-time rewards, and commissions for creators, instant payouts for gig workers, subscription models with chargeback, businesses managing millions with automated treasury systems. With Zebec, money doesn't need to be sent, it simply flows. The heart of the ecosystem is ZBCN, the utility token powering governance, access and transaction fees with the Zebec universe. As the network expands, so does the role of its native token, supporting applications, partners, and developers around the world. The financial world is moving towards on chain settlement. Banks are testing blockchain rails, governments are exploring digital currencies, and the demand for fast, programmable payments is exploding. In a world where trillions may soon move across blockchain powered rails, Zebec is one of the systems built to support that future. We stand on the edge of a financial revolution, one where money is as fluid as data, one where businesses move faster, creators earn instantly, and global payments happen in real time. And while no project is guaranteed to succeed, some are early enough, bold enough, and innovative enough to change everything. This is Zebec Network, real time money, programmable finance, and a future that doesn't wait. And if you guys have been keeping up with the content, you guys know the crypto markets have taken a significant hit and ZBCN has been down a significant amount over the month. There have been numerous buying opportunities. So if you guys have missed your chance, remember it's never too late to get into a project that has a potential to absolutely go parabolic, as it shares a lot of similarities with XRP. ZBCN is definitely the future of payroll with all the partnerships that it has recently been able to achieve. Tier 1 listings are coming around the corner with massive amounts of Zebec being moved across from wallets to wallets. Massive accumulation from whales entails a bigger story that's happening behind the scene. As investors, when the markets are down, we have to trade hard. When the markets are up, we have to trade easy. So this is an incredible opportunity that doesn't come around often. And once again, if you don't know a lot about the project, I encourage you to check out my content as I cover this content daily. And just know that 1 year from now, Zebec will not be at the same price, possibly hitting a penny very, very soon, maybe $1 in the near future. Can it reach the likes of XRP? Can it follow suit like XRP? In my humble opinion, of course, not being financial advice, I feel like Zebec has a clearer path to glory than XRP. While XRP had many hurdles in its time, XRP has made itself credible in the communities as it's a coin that has been around for a decade. ZBCN is fairly new, but what it provides us is definitely revolutionary. So, in order for it to achieve what XRP has done in the last 10 years, can be done in a much shorter time. I definitely believe Zebec is.
So as he mentioned, the ZBIC is a new project on the way to 1 cent faster than you think, right? It's going to come. I have a question. Will ZBIC be interoperable with XLM so that you can swap tokens like XLM with XRP and Polymatic? I want to say yes, but I have to research that and get back to you. But I do think they are working with XLM. I know they're working with XRP. I'm not sure about Polymatic. I'd have to check that. I'm trying to think if we could do it in chat, but I do think that will happen if it's not now, but eventually they'll be interoperable, right? Because most of the tokens are interoperable and they're on so many networks. It would make sense to be, but back to the article from earlier, a quiet milestone entering Bloomberg's Galaxy DeFi Index. ZBIC's addition to Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index didn't come with fireworks, but it should have. Bloomberg doesn't pick favorites. It certainly doesn't choose trends. Its index are designed to track institutional grade assets whose are real activity and credible infrastructure and long-term relevance. ZBCN was selected one of just 23 assets to represent the entire decentralized financial landscape. With the index tracking around 15 billion in assets under management, even a small weight places Zebec in a view of hedge funds, quant shops, family offices, and analysts who rely on the Bloomberg terminal for research and execution. The real value in the percentage weight is the legitimacy. The index inclusion signs that Zebec has crossed a threshold from experimental technology to potential financial infrastructure. That's what we've been saying the whole time. Once it becomes legit, right? Ain't no stopping, right? Can't hold us down. They can't hold us back. They can't say it's a scam or not legit if it's working or it was picked by Bloomberg. I mean, why would Bloomberg pick anything that is not legit, a scam, or have any issues? I'm pretty sure Bloomberg thoroughly vetted all the 23. It's only 23 of them, right? I'm pretty sure they can run all the analysis, all the background, and all the information they need to. Why would Bloomberg take a chance, right? That doesn't make sense. The real, let's see, for a project centering on real time payments, this is critical. Markets move where liquidity flows, and indexes are where institutional liquidity begins. The Dash partnership old payments meet new rails. One of the more surprising developments was Dash joining the Zebec ecosystem. At first glance, the partnership feels unexpected. Dash was an early payment focused cryptocurrency that has long struggled to stay relevant in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. But this integration makes perfect sense. Dash was built for speed and inexpensive transfer, but lacks modern rails, no enterprise distribution layer, no direct payroll access, no institutional client stack. Zebec gives it all that. By entering the Zebec ecosystem, Dash gains instant streaming capability, real time disbursement support, access to corporate payroll, and integration with Zebec's multi chain payment engine. Potential use across partnership networks, including HR and payroll platforms. In effect, Zebec reveals Dash's original mission: fast, borderless digital cash. By providing infrastructure Dash could never build its own. Zebec gains another payroll or payment asset. Dash gains a modern highway. And that's one of the things we talked about previously with the Zebec. If they're able to pull a lot of the legacy systems onto this new payroll processing highway, right? It's a win-win for both the assets and, like I previously talked, they don't have to rebuild the infrastructure, right? They don't have to redesign the wheel. They can just plug into Zebec like the other 18 ecosystems has. So it kind of benefits the ecosystem to join up. And this is only 19. I'm pretty sure we're going to be over 35 to 50 by next year, right? It's too many people already on the network and already working in the ecosystem. NatPay, Assure, HCM, and the beginning of the payroll revolution. The partnerships that raised the most eyebrows, however, was Zebec's integration with NatPay and Assure HCM, two significant players in the US payroll and HR ecosystem. For context, NatPay operates in the background of countless businesses handling ACH payroll, disbursement, reimbursements, and corporate payouts, time system payroll routing, and compliance regulated distribution workflows. Assure ACM sits even closer to employers, providing payroll software, HR tools, compliance support, and workforce management for thousands of US companies. Connecting these layers to Zebec is not a marketing stunt, it is a deep structural alignment, and it signs or signals for a shift most didn't see coming. Stablecoins and instant settlement entering mainstream payroll infrastructure. The upcoming public X features Simon Zebec, Jay at Azure, and Jim at NatPay. I didn't know Azure was going to be on that X. That might be one of the biggest X's so far. It's expected to reveal how the integration works, why payroll modernization has become urgent, and how crypto-based rails are finally being woven into traditional financial systems. This conversation is likely to touch on real-time payments, cross-border payroll efficiencies, and the collapsing gap between fiat and digital settlement. All this leads to the biggest shift of all, the one that ties every piece together. ISO deadline, ZBIC aligns with global banking standards. 22nd marks Swiss fully enforced migration deadline for the ISO 20022, the messaging standard that is now serves as the global language of finance, banks, payroll processors, cross-border settlements worldwide must speak the standard format for transmitting data. Crypto projects rarely align with this world. They tend to build fast systems that operate outside traditional framework. Zebec, however, is taking a different path, integrating deeply into them. The company confirms it's preparing for major updates on its ISO 200 compliance across domestic and cross-border flows, signaling the interim to match the messaging capabilities of banks, HCA processors, and institutional payment networks. What this means in practical terms is profound. ZBIC will be able to translate on-chain transactions into ISO 200 messages. Partner institutions, NetPay, Assure, card programs, remittance tools can seamlessly incorporate ZBIC as a rail. Stablecoin transactions can be transmitted with full structure, and that regulations require, and employers and enterprise can adopt real-time payment features without breaking compliance. This is a bridge the entire industry needed, crypto rails that don't operate in isolation, but plug directly to the financial world's shared language. ZBIC has quietly positioned itself as a non-DeFi application or blockchain experiment, but as a modern settlement infrastructure capable of interfacing with both Web3 ecosystems and established financial systems. Most crypto projects do not do this. They lack the compliance architecture, the standardized messaging layer, and the enterprise partnerships, the real world integration points. ZBIC has spent the past year assembling each of these components. The Bloomberg exclusion gave it institutional visibility. The NatPay and Azure HCM integrates connected payroll systems. The Dash partnership expanded its asset layer, and the ISO 200 compliance will allow ZBIC to sit in the same same table as banks, payment processors, and cross-border clearing networks. What's happening is not a creation of the alternate financial system. It's an upgrade to the existing one using Web3 rails where they make sense and aligning with legacy protocols where necessary. The implications are enormous. Payroll is one of the least innovative sectors in finance. Now it is the right target for modernization. Stablecoin legislation is accelerating adoption. Employers want flexibility, contractors want speed, and regulators want transparency. ZBEC is building for this exact moment. Bottom line, why crypto projects chase headlines, ZBEC is quietly rewriting underlying rails of how money moves, payroll, payouts, and remittance. and global distribution. Index inclusion, payment partnerships, compliant upgrades, and infrastructure integrations all points in the same direction. Zebec is becoming a settlement layer, not just Web3, but for the emerging hybrid financial system. As ISO 20022 becomes the world standard and stablecoins move into regulated status, as the enterprise overhaul outdated payroll systems, Zebec stands in the intersection with something rare: timing, technology, and relevance. If this moment continues, Zebec won't simply participate in the future of payments, it will help define the new crypto reality. So, what do you guys think about that? I think that's an awesome piece from my main man, Crypto Guy. What's this guy's name? Crypto God Gold or something. Yeah, Crypto God X Gold 587. Another good article there. This is Edgar. Wait, what is this? Yeah, Edgar Loyal 299. Realistically, is 10 cents doable by February or January with all the news and partnerships? I generally don't like to quote prices, but I do think by February, 10 cents definitely possible. I think by February it might be at a quarter or okay, so 1 cent probably by sometime in December, maybe 5 to 10 cents by January, February, possibly, because there's a lot of announcements. All it's going to take to be that major push is either Coinbase or Binance, right? When that hits, that's when the price is really going to surge because it's going to be easily accessible and the price is going to start running. And when that happens, it's going to keep running. Excuse me. Point 35 cents by next fall, maybe. By next fall, maybe 50 cents, maybe. But it all depends on Coinbase or Binance, right? The text there, the adoption's there. Everything we need is already here. We're just looking for crypto adoption, which will come with a major player like um, Coinbase or Binance. Zebec is on base wallets. It's already there or just got there. Mambo Land is on base wallet. Coin. So we'll see whenever we get that actual base announcement. But it is coming, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs. You see what it would skip here. In hindsight, the move or obvious payroll is one of the most universal financial activities on the planet. It touches every industry, every enterprise, every worker. Yet it is designed decades ago for a different era where one waiting day for funds didn't seem strange, where cross border workforce management was a niche concern. Those days are gone. Businesses now operate globally by default. Workforces are distributed. Contractors expect instant access to earnings. Real time pay has gone from a curiosity to a competitive advantage. The entire payroll stack is under pressure to evolve, and ZBIC is stepping forward with a solution designed for the world as it is today, not the world as it was in the 1980s. Definitely. ZBIC can only be purchased on the base wallet, not on the Coinbase exchange yet. So, yes, Mambo Land, we're waiting for that Coinbase exchange. I do think you're right. I do think you can get it through the base wallet. I think you got to convert to base tokens to buy stuff on the base wallet, right? but once it's on Coinbase, you can buy it directly or swap with all the assets on Coinbase. But that we will see. I think that's going to prompt the price as well. Check real quick if there are any announcements, and we will call it for the evening and pick it up tomorrow. Let's see, where is the Zebec page? I know it's on here somewhere. Let me see. Guess not. I guess we gotta type it in. Just checking because there's been all kind of announcements. I don't want to miss anything. See if there's anything posted. This is still at the DOS announcement, so we're good. But thanks for joining, and thank you guys for the super chats. You guys are really came through today and put a couple dollars in a brother's pocket, trying to keep the lights on BTM Crypto News Network. But thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. Peace and hair grease. Miners out.